When struggling single dad Ethan Cole saw a shivering mother and her twins begging outside a grocery store on Christmas Eve, he thought he was helping strangers. But when the twins whispered 6 words that no one expected, Ethan's entire past shattered in a single moment. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Ethan Cole never liked Christmas Eve, not because he hated the holiday, but because every year reminded him of how brutally life had changed. 2 years earlier, he'd lost his wife to a sudden illness, and since then, every Christmas felt like a test he barely passed. Now 34 and raising his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, alone, Ethan worked double shifts at a local hardware store just to keep food on the table. That night, the store was closing early. Customers hurried out with bags of last-minute gifts while Ethan swept the floor, exhausted and ready to collapse. The manager, Mr. Harris, patted his shoulder before locking up. "Try to get some rest, Ethan," he said gently. "It's Christmas, after all." Ethan smiled weakly. Yeah. Christmas. He didn't have the heart to tell anyone he had nothing planned. No tree. No gifts. He had managed only one small present for Lily, a used storybook he'd cleaned, taped, and wrapped with leftover paper. She wouldn't complain, Lily never did. But he still wished he could do more. As they walked home in the icy night, Lily held his hand and hummed a Christmas song she had learned at school. "Daddy," she said softly, "do you think Mommy can hear me sing from heaven?" Ethan's throat tightened. "I think she hears every word, sweetheart." They turned the corner toward the old grocery store on Maple Street. That's when Ethan froze. A young mother, thin, pale, and clearly exhausted, sat on the cold sidewalk with 2 small twins curled against her sides. The twins looked no older than 4. Their clothes were worn, their shoes soaked, their hands blue from the freezing wind. A cardboard sign lay in front of them. "Please help. No food. Northwest warm place. Anything helps." People walked past them, some pretending not to notice, some glancing with guilt but not stopping. Christmas lights glowed in the windows behind them, making the scene feel even more heartbreaking. Lily tugged on Ethan's sleeve. "Daddy, can we help them?" He didn't even have money for a proper dinner tonight. But Lily's eyes were the same as her mother's, full of warmth he never wanted to dim. He knelt beside the woman. "Ma'am, are you all right? Do you have somewhere to go?" Her lips trembled as she answered. I'm Olivia. These are my twins, Mason and Mia. We've been moving from shelter to shelter, but everything's full tonight." Ethan's heart twisted. "Have you eaten today?" The woman shook her head slowly. "Not since yesterday morning." A surge of something fierce and protective rose inside Ethan. He couldn't fix the world, but he could fix this moment. "Come with us," he said firmly. "We don't have much, but you shouldn't be out here." Olivia looked shocked, as though she wasn't used to kindness anymore. "I can't impose." "You're not," Ethan said. "Let's go." They walked together through the chilly night. Lily held little Mia's hand the whole way, whispering to her about Christmas songs and snowflakes. When they reached Ethan's small apartment, he apologized when he opened the door. "It's not fancy, but it's warm." Olivia stepped in, eyes filling with tears. "Warm is more than enough." Ethan heated the only 2 cans of soup he had. He gave the twins the larger portions. Olivia tried to refuse, but her shaking hands gave her hunger away. "Please," Ethan insisted, "eat." For the first time in a long time, laughter sounded in Ethan's home. The twins giggled at Lily's silly faces. They played with her old stuffed animals. Olivia watched with a mixture of relief and disbelief. When the children were busy, Olivia pulled Ethan aside. "You don't know what this means to us," she whispered. "Most people walk past us. I didn't think anyone would stop tonight." Ethan shook his head. No one should be alone on Christmas Eve. But then, something strange happened. When Mason, the twin boy, climbed into Ethan's lap later, he stared at him for a long moment. His tiny fingers brushed the old leather bracelet tied around Ethan's wrist, a bracelet Ethan's wife had made for him years ago. Mason looked up and whispered, "Mommy had a bracelet like this, before she lost it." Olivia stiffened. She rushed forward, eyes wide. Mason, don't say things like. But Ethan's breath had already caught in his throat. Wait, he said quietly. What do you mean, before she lost it? Olivia froze. She looked like she wanted to run but had nowhere left to go. I wasn't going to say anything. It's not my place. Please, Ethan said gently. It's okay. Olivia took a deep breath, her voice trembling. The twins, they're actually not mine. Not biologically. Ethan blinked in confusion. What do you mean? Olivia swallowed hard. I used to work at a community home for abandoned children. 2 years ago, a young woman came in, weak, scared, and holding newborn twins. She said someone close to her had died, and she couldn't take care of them anymore. She left them in my arms and disappeared before I could stop her. I searched for her for months, but she was gone. Ethan's heart hammered in his chest. What was her name? Olivia hesitated. She didn't want to write it on the papers. But she kept whispering a name when she cried. Over and over. Ethan. Ethan. I'm sorry. The room spun. Lily stared at him, confused. Daddy. What's wrong? Ethan couldn't breathe. Could it be? His wife, Sarah, had always wanted more children, but complications from her illness had made it impossible. Or so they thought. But during her final months, she had been distant, protective, hiding something. He had assumed it was because she didn't want to worry him. Olivia, he said slowly, voice shaking, what did she look like? Olivia described her. Every detail matched Sarah. Every single one. Ethan sat down heavily, hands covering his face. The twins. Sarah's last secret. Her last gift. Her last heartbreak. She hadn't abandoned them, she had tried to protect them. She must have believed her time was short, and believed Ethan couldn't bear the burden of 3 children alone. Tears streamed down his face. Lily hugged him tightly. Daddy, are they like my brother and sister? Ethan nodded weakly. Yes, they are. Olivia covered her mouth, crying softly. I'm so sorry. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't even know if you existed until Mason saw that bracelet. Ethan looked up at the twins, his twins. Mason and Mia stood quietly, not understanding, but watching him with innocent trust. He opened his arms. They ran to him instantly. For the first time since Sarah's death, Ethan didn't feel hollow. He felt whole. Complete. Overwhelmed, but whole. Daddy. Mia whispered shyly. Are we going home now? Ethan kissed their foreheads. You already are. Olivia wiped her tears. If you want, I'll help you through the adoption paperwork. I just want them safe. Ethan nodded gratefully. Thank you. For everything. That night, they all sat together in the small living room. No tree. No decorations. No fancy gifts. But they had something far greater. Family. Answers. And a chance to rebuild what life had broken. The twins curled up beside Lily. Olivia slept on the couch. Ethan watched them all with a heart fuller than it had ever been. He whispered to the room, to the memory of Sarah. I found them. I promise I'll take care of them. And outside, on that quiet Christmas Eve, the world felt a little softer, as if it, too, understood the miracle that had just occurred.